feel like a star, but only strictly where I'm famous. I'm in this for the longest haul, like we'll see where it takes us. I'm throwing back these double shots like whiskey here is weightless. Cause this career I chose was even riskier than Vegas, yo.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Live with Colby Rebel. We are in the studio and so excited for tonight's special guest. I had to pull in the favor, so I'm super excited. I also want to mention, I don't know if anyone's been keeping track, but this month marks my 2-year anniversary at UBN, and so
yay!
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank you. I'm so grateful to you, Tony, and the studio and everything that you offer. And
My pleasure.
It is my home away from home, so thank you.
Well, thank you. You're a big part of UBN. So.
Thank you. I got to thank the listeners out there, too, because if it weren't for you guys, I wouldn't have made it 1 month. So, but, let's get to tonight's show, because a lot of us are on our own spiritual path, our journey, and growing, developing, and we get confused and have questions, and we get lost along the way. So I figured, you know what? Why not bring one of the world's greatest, most renowned teachers, psychic mediums, personal friend, into the studio to talk about it. And so I gotta say, she just got done literally this whirlwind tour, and she just got back into the States a couple days ago. So again, for the effort and I know the time change and all of that, for her being here and joining us tonight, I'm so grateful. So hello, Lisa Williams. Oh my God, you kidding? I'd have you every week. So it's awesome. I'm so happy to have you here. And again, I know you must be a little tired and exhausted. So we will make this fun and enjoyable. And thank you so much.
Of course, absolutely. And when I get the opportunity to be on your show, it's like you grab it with two hands. I'm like, yeah, absolutely. So I need my Colby fix.
There we go. I always, right? We love those. Again, it's a beautiful journey together, and again, it's how you help and inspire so many of the students' lives that you touch, and the ripple effect that it also has, right? Because most of those go on and they help and teach others. And that was really kind of your whole mission, wasn't it?
Yeah, it just came out of nowhere. And in fact, I was actually in it always comes for me in out of a very bad relationship. Always. I don't know why, but it always seems to have that happen. And I was kind of at this crossroads. What am I going to do? Where am I going to be? And suddenly I sat in my office and I just had this epiphany. I went, I need to teach mediumship. I need to set up a school. And so I called in Karen, who is still my assistant to this day. And I want to give a big shout out to Karen because she's amazing. And honestly, I went, what should I do? And she's like, this sounds fabulous, and let's create this show and this sort of like on the road sort of like school, and let's go and everything else. And I was like, oh my God, okay. And so we talked about actually doing a show with it, funny enough. That's where my head was going. But the school just came out of nowhere, and Spirit just took it on its own pathway. And I actually outline my classes from Lilydale Stump as well a lot of the times. And so it's quite, it's all spirit driven. It's all spirit led. So I'm very blessed to be on this journey and have you with me. So it's awesome.
Thank you. Yeah, it's and it is quite a journey. And, everywhere you go, you create this special place, this sacred place for people to come together and join. And it's kind of, it is a little, you are a little like a gypsy though, right?
I was only thinking, all right, so I was only thinking after the show, I need to go home and I need to unpack those 3 bags that are sitting in my bedroom before I get on the road again on Sunday. So yes.
Wow.
See.
Yeah. But again, I think what's really interesting is each place that you go, you build a community, and that's pretty incredible. Do you ever see yourself in a permanent place, like where this is it and this is my homestay?
I mean, I would like to say that I'm going to have the Hogwarts of like the LWISSD, but no, not right now.
Okay.
I'm so transient. My aim was, and obviously we all know I have a son, Charlie. My aim was when Charlie hit 18 that I would then, and he would go off to college, is then I would actually sort of travel the world again. Because I had some time off for a while. I needed to be a mum. And he's just turned 18. He leaves school next year. So things are starting to ramp up again. But naturally, we all want the home security. We all want that love of one place, which I do have. But my boyfriend and I, Chris, we often talk about, let's just see the world. Let's just see where it takes us.
Yeah.
I don't think there's any reason to sort of sit back and do nothing. I really do want to try and get to the core of people. And not everyone can come to me. So I'm one person, I can go to them. Yeah.
No, that sounds good. And speaking of which, now you just got back from the UK.
I did. Yeah, I got back from the UK. I spent 3.5 weeks over there. I also snuck in a little trip to my mum and dad's in Spain. But yeah, I did. And it was lovely to go back to the UK. It really was. It was amazing.
Yeah, and so what was that like? Because you got to work with Tony Stockwell, right?
Yep, I did.
And he's a good friend of yours as well.
He is, yeah. Tony. I did a course at Tony's Soul Space in Billericay in London, just outside of London. And Tony is just the sweetest guy. I mean, Tony.
Yeah.
So I got to work with. I had no opportunity other than to work there, because it's almost like every time I go to England, he nabs me. It's like, come and work, and I'm like, okay, bye.
Yeah. And then you got to, you did some shows, and you also kind of went to a bit of your hometown. Is that right?
Yeah. So I traveled a little bit, and then I went to Edinburgh, which was fabulous to work at the Arthur Conan Doyle Centre. And then I went back I live in this small town, which is called Redditch. We are, it's historically known for needle making. I mean, this town is nothing. It's like this tiny little pinprick on a map. But I went back, and I got a chance to see, obviously, my friends and my family and my niece and everything else. But this sounds really weird, and it does sound so weird. So when I was a little girl, there was always this theatre called the Palace Theatre. And over in America, we don't have pantomimes, but pantomimes are something that happens at Christmas where everybody gets dressed up in fancy dress, and there's like these, Cinderella gets acted out and things like that. So I always used to go, and I was like, I want to be on stage at the Palace Theatre. So as I got older, I was like, how is it going to happen? And then obviously mediumship came into my life. And, they have a lot of mediums there. And every year they go, are you coming back next year? Are you coming back next year? So I actually did a theatre demonstration at my local theatre, which was just lovely.
Wow.
I had old clients. In fact, Colby, you can't believe it, but I had clients in the meet and greet line with a cassette tape.
Oh my
God. No, seriously, she had a cassette tape, and I looked at the number. I went, that's my old cell phone number. And she said, is this you? I went, yes, it is. And she's like, I knew it was. I still listen to it now. I'm like, on a cassette? She said, yes, I bought a little tape recorder especially for you. I'm like, oh my God, you're crazy.
Oh my goodness.
And then, I had old clients that came out, and people traveled from all over the world to see me. And I was just blown away at how many people would come to my little hometown. It was amazing.
Oh, that's awesome. And it's just nice too that you felt loved and embraced and supported in your hometown.
Totally. And it's nice, when you can go home and be welcomed back. And I know there's a couple of people, certainly in my hometown, where they go, oh, she went off to America. But, at the end of the day, we all have our own life path. We all have our own journey. And it was so nice because as I was checking out of the hotel that I was staying in, I saw my old neighbor who worked there, and we stood there, had a chat, and it was just so nice.
Yeah. Oh, good. Oh, well, that's good. And now you're heading up to Omega soon, right? Celebrate Your Life?
I'm doing Celebrate Your Life
also
next weekend.
Okay.
In Chicago. So I'm working with Denise Lynn. Oh gosh, who is working there? I think Joe Dispenza, Caroline Mace, Robert Ahotto, all of those people. And then I'm actually doing the 3 Medium show with myself. There's going to be Colette Barron-Reed and John Holland. So the 3 of us will be on stage together. And then the week after that, I go off to Omega to do 2 weeks there. And then I'm back off to England again. So, it's great. I can't complain.
Oh, good. Yeah. You must get just tired, though. Does Spirit just kind of give you the energy, or how do you replenish? I mean, how do you just keep doing it?
Oh, God. Is it wrong for me to say alcohol? Okay, so no, seriously. Spirit does energize you because, you have to almost be on.
Uh-huh.
You have to be on that personality. You know what it's like. You have to be that personality. And it's that time when you get into the hotel that I literally sit there with my iPad, my pen, and I do a jigsaw. And I am straining to keep my eyes going. My glasses are on. And I am like, oh my God, I'm so tired. But you know what? What I've found is as long as I eat healthy and as long as I actually keep myself on a routine, I'm okay. And I think I've just done this for so long. I get off a plane and slip into the time zone.
Yeah, I guess it's a good thing. I've gotten much better at traveling, I have to say.
Yes,
I used to be so you couldn't get me on the plane. Lisa would coax me. Well, Colby, if you come on. And now I've gotten better. I get organized. I'm not as anxious. So
yeah, I'm proud of you. Honestly, I'm impressed. I really am impressed.
It takes a lot. I like my little home.
Yes, you do. Nothing wrong with that, and a beautiful home it is.
Thank you. So now, I want to ask along this journey, what do you think was your biggest struggle on the path? I mean, was it surrendering, or was it keeping up? Was it getting to the next level? Was it finding your own personal space, your balance? What would be your biggest struggle if you kind of had to name one?
My biggest struggle, I can easily name it, and I know it, is being a mum.
Okay.
My biggest struggle was actually taking the balance of the 2 worlds and bringing them together. Having the gift and doing what I do, and going from different things to the next thing is great. But it's actually being the mum. Because when you're trying to mother your children, because I now have 2.
Yeah.
I took on an extra kid last year.
I gotta tell you, yeah.
Oh yeah. So taking on another child, it was hard, but it's actually being the mum. And she needed me while I was away. In fact, she got in the car tonight and she's like, oh my God, Dad's so grumpy when you're away. And then Charlie was upset this morning saying, you know what, it's been a really hard 3 weeks you've been away. So being a mum has probably been my biggest challenge. Trying to balance it, trying to make sure that time zone works, to be on FaceTime when they finish school, to say good morning, to say good night. And there are some times that I don't speak to the kids for a couple of days, but it's actually making sure that I'm still there and I'm still wholeheartedly there.
Yeah.
And I've been known to actually say to my students, I'm sorry, I just need to be a mum for 5 minutes.
Aww.
Pick up the phone and say, hey, what's going on? What can I help you with? And most of the time people understand it, but I think that's probably been my hardest challenge for me is to maintain personal relationships and to be a mom.
And do you think, like, so when you say, I'm kind of curious. So when you say, hey, I need 5 minutes to be a mom, do you think 10 years ago, your son is now 18, right? And how old is your daughter?
She's 15.
Okay. Oh, God help you.
I apologized to my mom. I said, I'm sorry, Mom. She said, what for? I said, for being 15 and a girl.
Yeah. But, 10 years ago, would you have had that balance? Were you still saying to your students, hey, I need 5 minutes? Or did you really learn that later?
I learned that much later. I mean, I certainly didn't, 10 years ago, I was in a marriage. I was probably just coming out of the end of the marriage, but it was, I still had somebody there.
Yeah.
Now I still have someone there now, and I do have someone there, but now I've found that the dynamics have shifted where they need, Chris is great, but he is active military. He's a soldier.
Yeah.
So emotion isn't so, they haven't quite got the emotion there. He's very present in their lives, but sometimes, she needs to come home and say, hey, guess what? There's a really cute boy at school, but don't tell Dad. Or there's sometimes that Charlie needs to say, hey, Mom, I'm really struggling. I need to get a doctor's appointment, or I need this, or hey, I need this going on at school. So I don't think I've understood this until later on. And it was when I actually took a break. I actually kind of laid low for a little while. I took probably 2 or 3 years off, mainly because Charlie had said to me, I need you at home. So I went, you know what? My son has to come before my career now. So I did. And now it's my time to sort of step back into that space and travel again, because the kids are older and they can do what, they have Dad at home and everything else. So it's become a little bit easier, but it is only something I found balance with only very recently. And I still think I'm struggling with the balance.
Yeah.
I think it's a daily challenge.
What do you, real quick, I'm just going to let anyone know who's listening. If you're in the call line, we're going to take development questions. So we're not going to do private readings. But if you have questions about your path or the development, or, any questions about serving spirit, give us a call, 323-992-3115. If you are already in the queue line for the telephone, couple things to keep in mind. The calls are chosen at random, so you may get chosen. If you've gotten through in the last couple weeks, just go ahead and hang up that phone. Let's let some new people get through. And if you don't have a question about spiritual development, I am just going to ask you to go ahead and hang up that phone so that we can make sure that whoever we call has their question ready and Lisa can step forward and answer it. But before we take a caller, and we're going to do that in just a minute here, Lisa, in all the experience, because now you really, it's like you've come so full circle. And I got to tell you, I do love that we all predicted you were going to have a daughter. And I just so clearly remember you going, well, that would be impossible. That would be an act of God. And it's kind of like, definitely meant to have a daughter for sure. I mean, who else can help someone pick out the best shoes, give the best boy advice, and make sure all the dress attire is taken care of, right?
Absolutely. Not to mention all the makeup too.
Yes. Yeah. See? Oh my goodness. She really struck gold when she got you. So
Thank you.
Yeah.
I struck gold too, I've got to tell you. She's pretty amazing.
Oh, now in all the experience, do you have any regrets? Is there anything that you sit with and say, should have done it this way? Or do you feel pretty good?
You know what? I feel pretty good. And I think the reason is my grandfather, who was probably my biggest influence in a lot of ways in my life, always taught me never to have any regrets, always taught me as the life experiences, enjoy them, always have a good laugh every day, no matter whether or not you screw up or whatever you do. Don't regret it, because it's a learning curve. So for me, I don't have any regrets at all. I guess probably the only regret I have is for not believing in myself it's funny because this journey that took me on, the whole media, the TV show, is the only time that I actually started to believe in myself.
Yeah.
Which is ironic because I'd been working as a medium for probably 8 years prior. So, it was interesting. It was very, very interesting. So I think my only regret is if I hadn't have started believing in myself a bit sooner.
Okay, and then how about one last question, and then we'll let some callers get through. What about your biggest accomplishment?
Wow. Okay. Other than being a mom, I've got to tell you that's one big, big, big accomplishment, and balancing the careers. I think my biggest accomplishment, quite honestly, is to actually maintain a very humble lifestyle and non-egotistical approach to what we do, because as we know, there's a lot of ego in what we do.
Yes.
And to remain very grounded and be very normal.
Yeah.
Try to live, because that has been, I'm very proud of the fact that I haven't got wrapped up into the whole ego, people needing all of that. And I think that's one of my biggest accomplishments really is to remain grounded and also write books.
Yeah.
Which is hard. I mean, it's hard. It's like, oh my God. But to do the TV show is very easy. To travel and do what I do is very easy because Spirit put me on that pathway. It's what I do easily and naturally in the best. But I think those two are the biggest things, is to stay grounded and to write the book. And
you enjoy, like you said, kind of a normal lifestyle. You ride a bike, you ski, you enjoy a glass of wine every now and again, so you've got that, nice touch, and it's pretty amazing. And I'll say real quick, and then we'll take a caller, but and through this crazy kind of lifestyle that you surrendered to, because it does take a surrendering. I mean, it really does. It is hard to say yes to something so bigger than ourselves sometimes, right?
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
And through that process, though, and through having a show and you toured in different countries, you raised this amazing, really nice, gifted, beautiful son. I mean, that to me is something definitely to be proud of, for sure.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah.
I am proud of him.
Yeah, he's can't believe he's going to graduate. He's going to graduate, right?
Yeah, he better do. Anyway, he'll better do. He's still got a year left.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's got Mum's size 9 up his butt.
Uh-oh. Mama bear full force, huh? Uh-oh. All right, well, how about we take a student's question or caller's question? Sound good to you?
Absolutely.
All right, so we're going to go with number 13, 917. Let's see who this is. Hello, 917. You are on the air with Colby and Lisa.
Hi, Colby and Lisa. It's such a pleasure to speak to you.
Hi, who is this?
Thank you for taking my call. My name is Mindy.
Hi, Mindy.
I'm calling from Florida.
Oh.
Hello. I saw you, Lisa, in Staten Island once. You did a show
Oh,
there.
wow. Oh, my gosh. Staten Island. Love that.
Wow. So do you have a question about your journey and your development for us tonight?
Yes. I had a near-death experience about 4 years ago. And truthfully, my mother was a medium, and I did do tarot. I never developed it as a business, but I did it because when I did it, people would tell me everything you said happened. So I felt a little of an obligation, not from people, from spirit, to continue to do it. And of course, I went through the, is it right, is it wrong, is it dark, is it light, throughout the years. And I never took it serious. And after the near death, the ability increased tenfold.
Mm-hmm.
But I still don't aspire to it. And I'm torn. I don't know, is it an obligation? Somebody called me yesterday, a friend that I just did it for, and she said, everything you say is always right. And I said to her, that's the only reason I do it. But I'm still a little torn as to how to pursue it.
Well,
Should I pursue it?
Yeah, let's think about the question itself, Lisa. Do you feel that it should be an obligation for us?
It should never be an obligation. Okay, so here's the thing: after a near-death experience, what you've done is it's all of a sudden you've just been broken open. It's like this wide open. You've just been broken completely. So even though your mum was a medium, even though you are giving readings, even though the information is absolutely correct and you're helping people, it should never be an obligation. And that's why I always tell people, please do not do this work if you feel you have to. And so if there's something that you're more passionate about, follow that. As long as you're always true to yourself, and you're true to your heart and your soul, that's what's the most important. Now, you can find balance. It sounds to me like you found balance in, maybe having a few casual clients here and there, sort of like coming to you, hey, can you give me a reading? And I feel as though as long as you can find balance, that's the most important, but never, ever, ever feel obligated. Because the obligation is going to go into resentment, and you'll start resenting what you do. And there may come a time where there's a natural shift where you are ready to embrace it. You're ready to come into it a little bit more. But right now, it sounds to me as though you're on the edge. You're on the, you're not sure. So follow your heart, follow your passion. Don't ever feel obligated by doing it.
I'm not sure because I don't want to waste a gift. If it was given to me to help others, that's my
you'll never
feeling.
waste
Like,
it.
why would it be correct? Why is it correct for no reason?
Well, you have to look at it this way. This isn't about, maybe you're thinking about, hey, I'm supposed to be doing this professionally. But there's plenty of people that help others and gift to others through a hobby, through just the natural kindness. And maybe that is how Spirit is giving you this gift. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. So it's. I
like that you're saying that. Yeah.
Yeah. So don't look at it as you're not stepping into the purpose. And one other thing I will just recommend, just from my own experience, please don't look at your checkbox. Am I 100% right? That's the only reason I'm doing it. Because, girl, I got to tell you, because the first time you get some no's.
No.
So,
I do the reading.
Yeah.
I do the reading, and then I forget. Right, wrong. I have no way of knowing the outcome.
Yeah, but even if they come back and
feedback.
Yeah, but just
right. Even if they say it's opposite.
Yeah, but just know
feedback is what makes me think I'm throwing away something that maybe I should do.
No, I would say there you go. And don't look at it as to what level you need to do it in order for as to whether or not you are throwing it away. As long as you're honoring and serving in any way in your capacity that brings you joy and joy to others, you've done it. Okay? All right.
Yes,
all right.
I like that.
You are welcome. And from Staten Island down to Florida, you have a wonderful night.
Right. Good night, ladies. Thank you.
Good night.
Bye.
I do want to address this actually, Colby, if I can, because a lot of people say to me, there's an obligation. I'm like, no, there is never an obligation. And actually, people put too much expectation on it.
Yeah.
Put a massive, massive expectation on what should happen, what shouldn't happen, how it should be, how they should be, whether they should be a certain spiritual way, and I do feel as though you also have to live a human existence too, because you are a person, and it is about finding balance. And if it's not something you're passionate about, then it's not something that you actually need to follow through with. You can just help people out here and there.
Yeah.
And still use it. But I feel that people, as she's saying, I feel as though people think that it's, because I've got this gift, it's a massive thing. Well, I'm going to tell you right now, I also have a gift of singing.
Yes.
But I don't follow that on. And yes, okay, that could help many people, but I do this. And some would say, yeah, well, your mediumship touches more people. You'd be surprised because music is more mainstream.
Yes.
And I had the opportunity of having a record contract and I turned it down.
Yeah.
And so do something that you're passionate about.
Yeah.
think it's very important.
And the other thing that was very key, and it's interesting. So hopefully she gets to listen to this back, because she really answered herself. Really, yeah. She said, "I don't aspire to do this,"
yeah,
and.
Exactly.
So again, so Spirit can be giving you again those gifts, and we could pass them along, and we can help others on that journey. But if you're not aspiring, this takes a lot more work than people think. There is so much dedication, commitment, a huge amount of sacrifice. That you've got to be more than aspired and inspired. Yeah, I believe so. And like you said too, it's some people go out and there has to be less. I think there has to be less check boxes too. Like some, there came this thing where people feel like, oh, I serve Spirit, I must do platform, and it's like, well, not really. Like, look at how you're supposed to work, or look at what's natural for you. Sometimes you see people so uncomfortable, and it's like, what? This doesn't mean you're good or not good. Like, listen to what you may be the best singer, but you may not be an opera singer, right?
Exactly, and that's true. And I always say, it's true, because people say to me, why don't you teach beginners mediumship anymore? And quite honestly, I taught so much beginners mediumship, I got bored.
Yeah.
And I wasn't inspired to do it. And now, because I haven't been teaching it for so long, I'm like, oh, okay, beginners mediumship sounds fun.
Yeah.
But I want to teach the trance. I want to teach forensics.
Yes.
I want to teach more specialized stuff, because now I'm passionate about it. But there's going to come a point where I will lose that passion because I've done it too much, and I'll go back to something else.
Yes.
So I think it's important to follow what your heart takes you to.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And, and it does. It's, a combination of that hard work, the ethics, the commitment, and Spirit.
Dedication. Oh, my gosh.
It is. But I think doing this work, I don't know. It really is. I don't know what else would bring more joy, for sure, right?
I agree. I'm with you on that.
It's like, well, you got me at hello. All right. How about another student question? How about let us do number 17757. Okay, 757, you're on the air with Colby and Lisa. Who is this?
This is Angela. Hello, how are you doing?
We're doing well, Angela. Hi.
I'm so thrilled to talk to you. And Lisa, I've been a follower of yours for a long time.
Awesome.
Thank you.
And what is your question?
My love of natural citrine came from you.
Oh, girl, listen, I'm telling you, it's the best stone going.
And so I was going to ask you, I'm sort of green to the mediumship and psychic ability. I know I have it very strongly, but I'm a casual sharer, just like you were talking about earlier. And I wondered how you overcame your own self-doubt when going through the process, because my upper self knows I have the gift. The lower or childlike self doesn't.
The little ego.
Yes.
Little ego.
Yes.
Okay.
So, Lisa, what advice would you give her?
Well, I can't give you confidence. That's one thing I can't. So here's the thing. That self-doubt. And I will tell you now, after 20 something years, I don't want to tell you how much, because it's like 25 years I've been doing this. I still have doubt. I still have a little bit of doubt where I'm like, oh God, did I get that right? Or, oh, am I interpreting that correctly? So I want to let you know, Angela, that doubt never goes away.
Yeah, no.
And so please know that. But the best thing is I don't let it get to me. And here's my little secret, is I actually do something whenever I'm doing my readings, is I do something mind-numbing. I sometimes color, or I do a little jigsaw on my iPad, or I'm doing something so I'm not actually overthinking it. Because what happens is that self-doubt is where our brain starts to think. And we know that when we're starting to do this work, we have to see, feel, hear, do. Everything that we see, feel, hear, and do is actually not ours, it's someone else's. So I tend not to use the word think in my reading. So, and I try not to use it, because when I think about it, I actually immediately think into it.
It's
and I
logic. Yeah.
So, that little
Makes perfect
ego, as
sense.
Colby mentioned, is the self-doubt. And then we start questioning, we turn it around. And it's not an egotistical thing to think that, hey, you know what, I'm good. I always truly say I'm only as good as my last reading. And so I aspire to be better than my last reading. I aspire to be the next, better than that. And it works well for me, that technique. But for me, I always have that element of self-doubt naturally, but I push it away and I take a deep breath. I put my big girl's panties on and I'm like, okay,
Yeah.
let me breathe and let me just do it, because those people wouldn't be coming to me if they didn't believe, or if they didn't feel like I would be able to help them. And that's how I help myself. And also by getting feedback. When I started to get feedback and people were like, oh my God, thank you so much. And, my assistant makes sure that I get all the feedback, not to stroke my ego, but to say, hey, you know what? You were right with this. I've thought about this. You were actually right. So I think it's important to also get some validation from your clients as well. That helps you.
Yeah. And I think too,
I do get that. Thank goodness.
well, one thing too, Lisa taught, I'm just going to bring something you taught us, Lisa, that I still use to this day. And I actually still teach it to students myself. And that is, give your little ego a name. So mine is Ginger, right? And when Ginger is not good and she's misbehaving and she's not helping me out, Ginger gets a timeout. All right, Ginger, you go get a timeout, honey, till you can play nice in the sandbox. So doing that, believe it or not, helps tremendously. And that's something Lisa actually taught me, oh gosh, like 5 years ago now.
Yeah, Ginger and Veronica get on well, don't they?
Yeah.
Yes,
My alter ego
mine
is
can run
Veronica.
amok, so to speak.
There you go. So I do hope that helps you, Angela. And, it's great.
Thank you so much.
Great insight and advice from Lisa. So there you go. And, that self-doubt, so the more you challenge yourself and push yourself in a reading, right? When you're trying to get deeper or more detail or in the interpretation, that self-doubt may bubble up. And at some point it's going to take courage and trust and letting go to just do it anyway.
Completely. You have to.
I think the not thinking is excellent advice. That's where I get my best information.
Well, there
when I'm
you
not
go.
thinking.
All right. Well, there you go. Have a beautiful night, and thank you
Bless
so
you.
much. Thank you for calling in. Yeah, Veronica and Ginger, they hang tight, don't they?
They hang tight, seriously.
Oh my goodness. The two of them definitely need a couple cocktails.
I'm sure they've had cocktails many times. I know they have.
And then, real quick too, we're definitely gonna take another caller. So hang in there, everybody. But you're gonna get back on the road again. So you got Chicago, you got New York, you got Omega. But you're gonna kind of branch out and get overseas again this year. Is that right?
Yeah, I'm off to Australia. So I'm off to Australia. I'm doing the World Congress of Spiritualism at the Arthur Findlay College, where they just asked me to be a keynote speaker and dem with some of the AFC tutors. So that's in London next month.
Awesome.
Well, actually in beginning of July.
Yeah.
And I'm off to Australia in October to do various different courses and to actually hold, it's not really a writer's workshop, but it is kind of a writer's workshop where we're helping people sort of like branch out, get themselves onto the stage, maybe help them with a little bit of media techniques, how to address people, speaking.
I just had a thought pop in. Can I just share it with you?
Oh, go for it.
Okay. I just had this pop in. You have to hold a course like 2 or 3 day where it's write a book in 2 to 3 day.
Well, this is what it's going to be.
Okay.
Looking at, how they can write their own book and then taking it from the book and bringing it onto the stage.
Okay,
So
good.
it's kind of, yeah, you're right on track.
Okay. Okay. There you go.
So it's kind of exciting. So that's going to be good. And I've also got a new book coming out in October, and affirmation cards as well. So there's a lot going on in my world.
Yeah.
Well, it's the summit.
And then so again, for the summit, this is a level 2, level 3. And this is in fact, my 3rd year of being one of the master teachers on it with you. And so it's so crazy. But we start this in June. June 25th it starts. And I believe we can kind of still take some applications. Some of the teachers are getting full. But, they can submit an application. They can train with you. They can train with any of the listed master teachers that are on the lwissd.com website.
Yeah. So here's what it is. It's really 12 weeks. It's 12 weeks of you're working with me.
Yep.
I'm really sorry, people. You're working with me. So for 12 weeks, you've got me where I am helping you through the beginning stages. It is very, I take people back to basics. And I always say it's like stripping away some parts of a car and giving you Rolls Royce pieces. And I'm stripping the engine bare and giving you the Rolls Royce in a way. And that's not ego. That is really just me knowing what people need. I've done this for so long. And I cannot tell you how many people have said to me who are already advanced mediums, oh my God, this course has changed my life. So it's really the 12 weeks. You get conference calls with myself. We have group chats and I'll be there. You can watch the videos. So I'm very much there for your learning. Know, each master teacher also has a group of their own, so that you'll be part of a group of the master teachers. And they'll get to know about you and learn who you are through your homework, because that will go off to your master teachers. And then after the end of those 12 weeks in September, then you have 4 days, 3 with an optional 4th, to come and study with one of the master teachers of your choice, no matter where you are in the world. And the beauty about this is fabulous, is because we create a collective energy. We absolutely create this collective energy, and everybody works at the same pace, same time, and everybody does this course at the same time every year. And so I jump on to chat with you and your teachers and see how you're getting on, and if there's any questions that I can answer. And so everybody's going through it at the same time, and it's almost like this camaraderie, this energy that builds up, and it's just beautiful. It really is. And I'm just glad that I've created something like this, and it just brings the whole world together, because we've got people from Australia to Europe to America, that all come together collectively in the joy of spirit, and it's just beautiful. Yeah,
it is such an honor to be a part of it, because what it represents on such a scale of serving and learning and growing is, there's really, honestly, there's just nothing like it that offers this and this level. And it is a lot of fun. It is, it's a lot of homework to look at, but you give a lot of homework.
I do. I give a lot of homework, and I'm sorry. So you know what it does is it actually pushes people.
It does.
It goes back to that dedication.
Yep.
It goes back to the fact that you can say that you want to be spirit, connected to spirit, but it goes back to that dedication, and you have to, and it teaches you dedication right from the word go. Yeah,
it really does. And it kind of shows people, where you can really grow and go with your gifts too. I think some people, like our previous caller, their little ego tends to stop them and block them. Whereas, you give them that homework that pushes past those blocks and makes them face it. And I've been through it. It's painful. I'm glad I did it, but I'm
sorry.
Oh man, but but what, I'll tell you what though, again, there's nothing that compares to it, because it showed me, you showed me that I am committed to this, and I do love this, and spirit is there, and we can always go deeper. So all of that stuff, is all wrapped up with your little Tiffany box and your bow. Not giving anything away, anybody.
Oh my gosh, my Tiffany's off.
So we've got a couple minutes left. Let's try to take one more quick caller. How about, let me see, number 14. So here's the thing with 626. Is that 626? 636. Okay, so here's the thing, 636. You're going to go live in just 1 second. I know, take a breath in. Oh my goodness, yes. But you have to have a quick question just because we literally have 2 minutes left, okay? So 636, if you're still there, hello.
Diane Williams.
Yay! Look at her. She's a good listener.
Diane Williams says, St. Charles, Missouri. Quick question is, seeing faces all the time and everything and everywhere,
Oh.
and they appear like out of nowhere. Would that be leading me to mediumship? I've been told them by other people. And then also faces, people, things appearing in my front room. I actually... I think I opened a portal by accident, but anyway, I've been photographing trees and stones and everything that has faces. So, mediumship.
Okay, so what is the faces, Lisa?
Okay, so you know what's funny is I used to actually see faces and everything, Diane, you know, whether it's a pattern on the wall or whether it's something in the trees. And so quite honestly, I do feel as though what it's starting to do is starting to open up your clairvoyance. So it's your clear seeing. You know, this doesn't necessarily mean that you'll be a medium. But what it does is it's starting you off in that process. Now, again, it goes back to the passion, what you're driven to do, what you want to do. But also you can have fun with it. So, you know, I know Colby has done this before. You know, she's
I've
like, hey, is
created
anybody there? And what's the...
showing people to think outside the box. I also do tarot, and I've been playing with that. And I found your show interesting, what that other lady said about doing it for fun, because that's how I do it now. But I was just wondering if there's a reason, because out of the blue, these faces are appearing all over the place.
Well, there you go.
It's because they're starting to get your clairvoyance ready. That's what it is. So, you know, enjoy it.
There you go. So, Diane, I hope that helps.
It comes fast.
Well, you know, real quick. So go ahead and end the call. But Diane, listen in, or just mute it just for a second because of time. I don't want to go over. But Diane, the one thing is just that last comment. I hope it comes fast. Enjoy the journey. I got to tell you, enjoy this process. It's the unfolding of the flower, I think, is one of the most precious parts of this experience. Don't you agree, Lisa?
Yeah, it's beautiful. I mean, I'll be honest with you, we're still always learning. So as much as you want it to come quick, I'm going to tell you right now, after 25 years, I'm still learning and I'm still changing. I'm still working with my own methods. I'm still feeling my own way. So it's always going to change. And
even just that interpreting, right? Like we get something and we interpret it, and you know, you can see where it fits or how it fits. But sometimes you're like, how did I just get it? So close. So anyhow, all right. So you know what? That can you believe it? That is it. That is the end of our show. Doesn't it go fast?
It's fabulous.
As always, you know, I know it's late there. I know you're tired, and I know you want to get back to your family. So thank you so much for being with us, joining us, and for sharing, you know, the wisdom, the insight, and the love that you have for this work.
Oh, thank you. And you know what? I got to say thank you to you for, you know, grabbing it by the horns and running with it, because you know, you really, I watched your journey, and I'm so proud of you for actually doing what you did. You changed, you went 180 degree overnight. You flipped and changed your world. So, you know,
thank you
for being an inspiration to many.
Oh, thank you. All right. Well, I will see you next month in Lilydale. And lots of love, everybody. If you want to join the summit, log on, lwissd.com, find your master teacher, submit your application, and stop making excuses. All right, everybody. Have a great night. Love you, Lisa. Bye.
I love you.
Sometimes I feel like a star, but only strictly where I'm famous. I'm in this for the longest haul, like we'll see where it takes us. I'm throwing